Hello again. So Jon Thaxton has announced his retirement here on Big Fight Review. It's the end of a 17-year career. Throughout, Thaxton has been mentored by the Ingalls, and Gabriel Clark caught up with John Ingle after the fight in Altrincham.
Sum up John's career and what he has achieved, because
I'm saying it's an interesting story, because when he first came to the gym, he came on the recommendation of Chris Eubank, who'd been up sparring with Errol Graham, and he said, you want to go up to Brendan Ingles' gym. He came up when he was 16, 17-year-old, and he's been there on and off since. He had the car accident, he was out for a couple of years, but when you said to Jon Thaxton, this is what I want you to do, points 1 to 10, he does points 1 to 11, he does. He's a dream to look after, never complains. Whatever you put in front of him, yeah, I'll do that, I ain't got a problem. He's been the ideal pro, and that's what I'm saying. He deserves better than he got tonight after that referee.
Foster has stopped it right there in the 4th round. Jon Thaxton can't believe it.
He's overachieved, he has. When he came, I think he probably didn't even have 20 amateur fights. He came from a kickboxing background. His boxer likes Ricky Hatton, Eamon McGee. He's become British European champion, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody had any great expectations for him, but when you see somebody putting the determination, the dedication and the hours that Jon Thaxton has, he deserves every success.
where would you rank him in fighters over the last 10 years or so, in terms of British fighters?
He's been one of the best guys we've had, personality-wise. Like I say, he's been a dream to look after. Never a complaint, never a murmur, a complaint or anything out of him. I wish we could have 100. I'd rather have 100 of him than 10 Mike Tyson. That kid has been an ideal pro, and that's what I'm saying. It's been a disservice what's happened to him tonight.
Sounds like he might make a decent coach.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he's
manager, promoter, which one?
He's got his little thing doing, he's doing public speaking, personal motivation and everything like that. He's a very positive kid. He's switched on, he's got all his faculties. It's just, I'm just disappointed that it went that way.
Terrific tribute from John Ingle, talking there to Gabriel Clark, to a great fighting man. Jon Thaxton and the Ingles have had a lot to do with your career, but what was that story early on when you went to the gym there? Tell us that one.
Well, the first time I ever met Brendan, I'd done some sparring with one of his guys, and I got the hell beat out of me. And I sat on the end of the ring, and he said to the guy, he said, "You're going to do nothing." And he said to me, "You're going to do something." And I looked and I thought, whatever's he on about? But to be fair, I've been British European champion. I really feel I have done something. I've conducted myself in a great way, and Brendan must have seen something that afternoon to say what he said.
When you look back on your career, what was the highlight? Was it that night in Norwich a year ago, winning the European crown?
That was one of them. Also winning the beating Lee Meagher for the British title, but also the fight with Ricky Hatton. That is a big one in my memory bank. That night I couldn't have gave no more. Whenever anyone says to me, "What's the best fight you've ever been in?" I always say the Ricky Hatton fight, because that night I could have given no more. I gave my absolute heart and soul in the ring. I tell you, in the first round I cut his eye. Thought I'd won the lottery. The second round, victory speech all worked out. Third round, the mortgage was paid out. But he changed his tactics, and he boxed brilliantly. And that's how it went. He beat me.
I remember one. Paul Scrap Iron Ryan.
Paul
what about
Scrap
that
Iron
for a
Ryan.
finish?
Paul Scrap Iron Ryan. They give me the fight at 24 hours notice. 22 fights, 22 wins, 20 wins by knockout. What chance did I have? And I went there and knocked him out in the first round. Couldn't believe it. And then I sort of like that.
In his home turf too?
Yeah, home turf. February the 13th, 1996. Since then, I've been either number 1, number 2, number 3 in the top of the domestic scene, and that's brilliant from me. But that's also brilliant from my management team, the Ingalls, who kept me there. Guided me through the system.
Just give us an indication of what you're going to do with yourself now, because you're still a young man. You might be an old boxer, but you're still a young man.
Yeah, I've got so many things I do, from personal training to fitness training. I do a lot of team building, management training, leadership training, motivational workshops, motivational speaking, after dinner speaking. I do so many things, as well as being a father as well.
Fantastic. Dukey, let's come over to you. The decision to call it a day is really hard for any sportsman. And did you go a bit long in your career? Two fights too many, was it, or something?
I probably, yeah, I probably did, as you do.
You're making sense despite that. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
The thing is, Jim, you always think to yourself, there's one more fight left in you, as I'm sure John feels right now. But the reality is that in your mind, you're well past your sell-by date, and you just can't turn back the clock. So, I'm glad that John's decided to call it a day. He's got out with his health and some wealth, hopefully, in the bank. And as he's already said, now he can channel all of his energies into his other interests, and he'll go on and he'll be a success in outside as well as inside of the ring.
Absolutely.
Barry, what about that retirement thing, though? Because I think I was at the other end of the camera when you retired, wasn't I?
Yeah, that was at the end of May, 30th of May, 1989. So I'm just over 20 years packed it in. But, you know, the most important decision in your life is the decision when to hang up the gloves. And, you know, he's gone out, well, hopefully this is the end, and he won't talk himself, or nobody else will talk you around again. But he's got dignity, self-respect, he's done amazing stuff for British boxing. He's got so much energy, this kid. He's got so much energy. I can call him a kid because he's 14 years younger than me. But no, he's really going to do real good things outside the ring. He's been terrifically successful, and he's got so much energy. You know, the personal velocity that this guy has. He's going to generate it and turn it into working with kids, working with handicapped kids, working with kids that are underprivileged, and being a success. I know he's going to be a success.
John, we've had great fun over the last year, haven't we, with Jon Thaxton, and winning that European title, and also you know, an unsuccessful first defence. But I still remember that knockout punch at the old showgrounds.
That punch there in Norwich, great punch, and I was so pleased for John because he's been a credit to the sport. And that's not something I say easily. He's been a pro for what, 17 years, something like that. And as honest as they come, you know, and he's always made the most of his ability. And I think any fighter, any sportsman, if you can look back on your career and say I did as much as I could, and I really think John's done that. And
I'd say to you as well, John, without sort of getting tears in her eyes and things like that, that he is the sort of fella that keeps this game going. In fighters like him keep the game going.
Well, you watch a fella like him fight. You meet him and chat to him, and it makes you realise why you love the sport in the first place. You know, he's a credit.
When I finished my career, I wanted to turn around and say to be the best that I could be.
Yeah.
If I was the best that I could be, and I went as far as I can, I'd have been happy.
Yes.
And I won a British and European title, and that's as far as I went. Am I happy with that? Over the moon.
Yeah.
You know, if someone said to me when I was 18 years old, you're still going to be fighting professionally when you're 35 years old, I'd have said you hadn't laughed. But the way I've kept myself in great condition throughout the years, listened, learned, you know, and got experience through it.
And most importantly of all, he's honest. You know, this game's about honesty, and he's the perfect example. He's a great paradigm of honesty and everything that's good about boxing. You're looking at it right here.
You can't cheat yourself, and you can't, you know, lie to yourself. You've got to do everything right and listen to the people who care about you, for your trainers, your managers, and the people around you, your family.
We all appreciate you joining us here today, John. Good luck.
Thanks very much.